walking on the floor! Do it now!
The Special Constabulary is the nation's volunteer police force.
Do you know the gent?
What's your speed?
It's made up of over 20,000 members of the public.
Oh, it's gone down there.
Who give their time to fight crime in their communities.
Out! Get out of the car! Get out of the car!
Specials combine their day jobs...
Stage, please!
...and home lives...
Here's a good boy.
...with being serving police officers on the front line.
Police officers!
Coming up...
Try the next one.
Tony raids a house in search of drugs.
We're there to try and secure evidence.
So he's jumped onto this roof and then gone into your garden?
Sam investigates a violent burglary.
He's come in here, he's then punched her in the head. Now he's taken the laptop that was placed on there.
How do you usually get home?
I ride a magical dragon.
And Jamie deals with the consequences of binge drinking.
Means nothing.
This man in particular suddenly changed.
I'm not going to go, I'm going to come back.
You're going to get arrested.
It's 8:30 a.m. and at Cambridgeshire Police HQ, the tactical team are being briefed about today's operation. A warrant to search the property of a suspected drug dealer.
I'll go through all the information I've got here. Continuing to deal cannabis from his home address. Normally picks his drugs up on a Thursday night and has people coming and going from Friday and all weekend.
One of the few specials to be part of this elite unit is Special Sergeant Tony Bolton, who's been volunteering for over 10 years.
I guess what I really bring to the team is enthusiasm. I mean, I can't bring a ginormous amount of knowledge with policing because, you know, at the end of the day, my regular colleagues are always going to have more knowledge of police matters than I ever will. But what I bring to the team, hopefully, is just a sense of enthusiasm.
And Tony's enthusiasm isn't dented by the reality of dealing with dangerous criminals.
There is information that there's a baseball bat on top of the kitchen cupboards.
Every time you book on as a police officer or as a special police officer, you never quite know what you're going to face.
And possible weapons aren't the only potential complication about today's operation.
You need to be aware of the children. Some of the children are quite young. All right, if we look to leave in 10 minutes or so.
Tony's work with the tactical team is a world away from his day job as a podiatrist, helping people with foot problems.
Been a podiatrist for 17 years now. I work a 4-day week. I work a 4-day week through choice, and then I hold Fridays as my policing day, as my specialing day.
I'm rubbish at this.
I've never actually got past a 10-piece jigsaw. This is quite exciting.
Tony's wife Veronica and teenage daughter Kaylee are fully supportive of him volunteering as a special.
It's different to what your friends, like dads, are doing and that. You worry sometimes, but it's his choice and he doesn't mind helping for free.
I think for somebody to actually give back to their community at the level at which Tony does, I just think it's phenomenal.
And Tony's giving his time for free right now. He and the team are getting ready to raid the home of a possible drug dealer.
We need to get in there hard and fast. So the whole team's getting on the bus now and we're good to go.
The team head to another police station to collect the warrant. When they get there, more information comes through to the officers.
Right, listen, now let's switch on, guys, because we're going around there in 5 minutes. Marcus, go on.
Yeah, just a bit more info. Potentially there might be some other kids there, or the kids may be, if they're off school this is, they may be at another address. They quite often go to each other addresses down the road.
OK, so once we've got control of the people in the address, if there's children in there, we can come right down and just conduct our business as usual, OK? Good.
The team now have the warrant and head to the target property to raid it. But with the possibility of drugs in the house and children at the scene, Tony is mindful of what they might face on arrival.
We need to get in there quickly. What protects us really is the whole speed and momentum of our entry. So we need to get control. So until we've got every single adult under control, the threat is still there. The children, yes, of course the children are a consideration, but then obviously so is our personal safety. So we've got no idea, we're just going to have to make a judgment call as soon as we get there. And somewhere amongst all this, there's a balance, and we just have to try and strike it right when we get there.
And they'll be there soon. The team are just moments away from the target property.
Okay, we go, Lewis. This next right-hand turn.
Police officers!
An open front door means there's no need to break the door down. A relief for officers, as there are young children and a baby inside the house.
Police officers, police! Your baby upstairs.
So as soon as we got here, the door was open, so for all the actual concern as to how we were going to get in and, you know, the potential ramifications of lots of children, good result.
It was a smooth entry for the team at the front of the property, but it wasn't the same for the officers going in the back.
The whole point of view, we were going to use the ladder to actually scale the wall. And you can see that this particular address, they've embedded nails and screws actually into the top of the wall to stop that exact thing.
A few holes in there, but yeah, it's a bit of a shock.
But the officers have a job to do. The children in the house have been taken away by a relative, and now the police can get underway with questioning the suspects and searching the premises.
You told him while we're here?
No, not yet.
Mate, we're here because we're going to be executing a warrant at your address under Section 23 of the Misuse of Drugs Act.
No.
Is there anything here you want to tell us about?
Only my personal smoke, but I smoke.
Where's that?
In my kitchen cupboard.
So what I've just found here in this cupboard is a quantity of herbal cannabis.
Already a quantity of drugs, so...
We'll see what else we find during the search. He's saying there's nothing else in the property, but that remains to be seen.
The item here is a cannabis grinder. What they use to grind the cannabis, and there's a little bit on the bottom which unscrews to collect it. It looks like it's... So we've got some cannabis, it looks like it's mixed up with normal tobacco. But you can see the greener parts of it, that's cannabis. Distinctive by its pungent smell. It clears your cold.
Gives it away every time.
With drugs having been found already, Tony and the other officers are determined to search the house thoroughly.
You can't expect these people to be silly as to where they hide it. Whenever we search a property, the whole point of searching a property is we're there to try and secure evidence. The people that deal drugs, the people that have drugs, they will make finding these things quite difficult. And so the search has to be absolutely meticulous.
The weed stuff, literally smoking box.
The woman in the property also confesses to being a cannabis user. Tony is consulted by his colleague Matt about whether to arrest her too.
Remind me what was said about that box. She said that's hers.
She came in and actually physically found it and identified it for us.
So it's hers. Do you want to nick her as well?
Fine. Yep.
On for Peewits as well.
Possession with intent to supply.
Yeah, I think they both need to give an account for what's been found in their house.
Right, you're under arrest for possession, intent to supply. Therefore, I have to caution you, you don't have to say anything. However, it may harm your defence. You do not mention when questioning something you later on in court. Anything you do say may be given in evidence. Do you understand?
You see that I use it as a smoking box. It's got tobacco.
Okay, well, then you can give that account on interview. At the moment, you're under arrest, okay?
I clearly showed you my box that I'm a cannabis user.
You can give your account on interview.
Merry Christmas to you too, yeah?
The couple are both arrested on suspicion of possession with intent to supply and taken to custody.
I won't worry about a newspaper today, love. I've got other things happening. All right. Thanks anyway.
With the suspects having been taken away, Tony and the officers continue their investigations in the property.
It's quite a sophisticated CCTV system on this place as well. Actually, when you go right up to the top, there's a whole series of setup. These people, they will take, you know, whatever precautions that they can or they feel is necessary to hide the drugs to stop us finding them.
Very impressive, isn't it?
The high-tech CCTV system is in the loft, but the police's main concern is searching for evidence.
Just loft insulations down there, nothing. Try the next one.
Nothing is found underneath the floor. But the search of the house has uncovered weapons.
When that's fully charged, to the best of our ability, that is a stun gun. So concealed as a mobile phone. It's completely dysfunctional as a mobile phone. But you charge it up, you put the two prongs on the flesh, and you've got the stun gun. We weren't wrong with the weapons warning marker. And again, you can imagine being actually faced with that. It's no toy. It's no toy at all.
It's been a successful operation for Tony and the team, as they found drugs and arrested 2 people.
All of these staff on the tactical team, warrants are the bread and butter of their duty. I don't think we're adrenaline fuel junkies. We just want to get in there, we want to make the scene safe, we want to execute the warrant, we want to find what we can find, and we want to just bring the bad people to justice.
Ultimately, the police found no evidence of dealing. The woman pleaded guilty to possessing Class B drugs and received a fine. The man also pleaded guilty to possessing Class B drugs and the stun device. He was sentenced to 80 hours unpaid work. The drugs and the stun device were destroyed. Specials are unpaid volunteers who work alone or alongside the regular police to fight crime in their communities.
We got all of them! Don't want to see you walking on the main road again. Come on. Recovery's obviously en route.
Specials are not police community support officers. They're fully fledged members of the police force who have the same powers in law as their paid colleagues, including the power of arrest.
Stop it. Move over. No, 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 no. Move out of the way. No.
Within many special constabularies, officers can rise through the ranks, from constable all the way to chief specials officer.
Ouch, I found a thorn. Let me remind you, you're under arrest, and anything you say will be written down.
Specials work 16 hours a month or more as volunteers and undertake all kinds of duties, from policing community events to arresting hardened criminals. 21-year-old Sam Shepherd is one such volunteer. He's been giving up his time to work as a special for the past 2 years. When he's not helping fight crime, Sam works as a concierge, organising the personal lives of wealthy business clients.
I absolutely love the concierge job because you go in one day, you can have a mundane shift where you've only got tickets to deal with. The next day you'd be coming in, you've got to organise a whole holiday to Bangkok for somebody.
As well as his concierge job, Sam also works part-time in a friend's clothes shop. Being so busy, this leaves him very little time for a personal life.
With working so many different sort of jobs and not having a lot of spare time, I do find it very difficult to sort of hold down relationships. It's difficult and not many women want to stay around for that.
His problem keeping a girlfriend is not helped by the fact that Sam spends most of his time off volunteering as a police special. Today he's on shift with 20-year-old George Coxon, a customer services agent who recently qualified as a special too. A call comes over the radio requesting assistance at the scene of a recent burglary.
Yeah, that's all received. We're headed over that way now.
Sam and George are the first officers on scene and immediately try to establish what's gone on.
Hello there, you okay? Where's the gentleman on the phone?
You have to straight away find a victim, find where this person's entered the property, how they've got into the property. You've then got to preserve that.
The victim's nephew shows Sam how the burglar got into the house.
So probably he put that foot here, come on this one, go to next to the roof, you know, and there, jump it on the, you know, like on the, in our yard, and to go to the inside.
So he's jumped onto this roof and then gone into your garden? Okay, let's go see where it's come out in the garden there. Do you want to go inside?
Sam then interviews the victim.
Okay, so he's come in here.
A Lithuanian woman who says the burglar stole a laptop and assaulted her.
And stay for me.
The best approach for dealing with victims is to just be calm and get them to look at you as just another human being, not a guy in a uniform. They look at you for help and sort of a resolution to their situation. So you've got to be that person there to support them throughout it.
He's opened that door. He's walked into the room, okay, and then he's gone like that.
Yes.
So that's what he did, he punched, and then went back out the way he came in. He went back on the roof.
So
she left and ran straight away to her son's room, you know.
So you ran back in the house, and then he just left.
In this instance, when we arrived at Burglary, you know, we got a lot of information. It's something that becomes second nature in the police. You get given a lot of information straight away. You then just sit there and decipher the important parts.
Her hand was shaking, you know, like she's trying to, you know, to lock it out, these doors, you know, because...
Having got to the bottom of how the burglary happened, Sam now tries to find out if there's a motive for the crime.
Is he an ex-partner to her?
No. They used to, like, he lived here before. They used to live...
Just in the shared housing. How long ago did he move out? It's about 3 months.
Yeah.
3 months ago. And he knew that you had a laptop and...
Yeah,
okay.
so...
He knows the layout. Does he know that that door's not normally locked?
Yeah.
I just want every bit of detail just so we can get it right. He has punched you in the head. Whereabouts did he punch you? Can we have a look at the injury?
Sorry, can we put the lights?
Ooh, I don't want to be touching it. No, I don't want to be touching it. You got a bit of a lump on the side of your head. How long did he live here?
Having established that the burglary suspect used to live at the premises and that the victim knows who they are,
is this him?
Sam and George turned to social networks to try and uncover more information about him.
See if you can recognise a photo.
Yeah, that's his proper name, but that's, you know, on Facebook he write down different names.
The residents know the people, so we just need to see if we can locate him and then look down the route of arresting him and then possibly charging him.
The detective assigned to the case arrives at the house.
He's come through this door here.
And Sam fills him in on what he and George have uncovered so far.
So this is the first point he enters the property.
Yeah.
The address.
He's come in here, he's then punched her in the head. Now he's taken the laptop that was placed on there, exited through the same way he came in, back on the roof out there, and then outside.
And what's his connection to this address?
Used to live here, moved out
moved
out in October, lived here for about 6 months.
So we've got a name, a date of birth,
and telephone number.
And a telephone number.
The Specials have made a lot of progress in this case in just a short time. It's this kind of hands-on policing that motivates Sam and George to give their time for free.
This is why I chose to be a special. I want to help people in this sort of situation when they need that help the most. It's how we handle the situation and how we comfort the victim is what's going to stick with them and make this experience a little bit less stressful.
You go knock on them houses and I'll go that way and check the other way. No?
But before they leave the scene, the Specials try to find any witnesses to the crime.
Now we're going to conduct some house-to-house inquiries to see whether or not anyone else saw anything. Is there further details we can add to the details already established? Good morning there, you okay? Nothing to worry about at all. Basically, the reason why we were calling around is there's been a burglary around this area at the early hours this morning. Now, I'm just doing house-to-house inquiries to see if you saw anything that was untoward, out of the ordinary. OK, well, thank you very much for speaking to me this morning. Have a good day. Thank you, bye-bye. The house-to-house inquiries didn't pull up much. Unfortunately, they're quite elderly people that live next door. They're fast asleep, so they didn't see anything, unfortunately. But we have to make sure that we cover every track. We could miss vital evidence if we don't follow the right procedure in that way.
When they get back to the station, Sam and George use the information they've gathered to track down the burglar.
That was the guy's telephone number, the suspect's, that was given to us by the victim and the other people that lived at the address. So we were just trying to give him a ring to see if we could find out if we can meet up with him, if we can get his address from him, go and see him. But I think it's gone to voicemail.
But while they're making their inquiries, word comes in that the suspect has been arrested by other officers.
We just came over the radio.
No doubt he's probably still got the laptop in hand, because it only happened at 9:30 this morning.
Sam and George head out in the van to bring the arrested man back to custody.
During our attempts of trying to find him, our impact team, which is a priority crime team, have managed to locate and arrest the suspect. And we're now on the way to go collect him so we can book him in for the offence. All the pieces of the puzzle sort of fell into place. The crime's happened. We've then been able to locate and detain the suspect for it. You couldn't ask for a better result.
The man has been arrested by plainclothes officers at another address he has links to.
No.
Sorry?
No problem, boss. No problem, boss.
I get a sense of satisfaction with working as a special.
OK, what's your head?
Nothing feels more relieving than dealing with a crime and then thinking, I know who's done this, and getting that person.
Time of arrest, 11:45. All right. Cheers. Thank you. Cheers then, guys. He does fit the description of what's occurred this morning. So we'll book him into custody.
The fact that we got called this morning only a couple of hours ago is definitely a good result. And it's good to know that someone that's done that sort of thing is off the streets.
I think it's fantastic. This way, all the way to the end. Keep going.
The suspect was charged with burglary, theft with violence.
Here you go.
He was found guilty and received 4 years in prison. It's this kind of result that makes it all worthwhile for Sam.
I love the fact that we can help out the community, and dealing with something that quick and that proactive is just amazing. That's what I like to be doing, and it's what I enjoy doing every day I come in.
Saturday night in Cambridge city centre. It's a busy time for the regular police and specials alike. Tonight, Special Constable Jamie Cooper is out on shift with PC Eitan Joseph. 21-year-old Jamie, who recently graduated with a degree in criminology, has always wanted to join the police force.
I applied to become a special at my first year of uni. It's always been a career aim for me is to become a full-time PC. So when I heard about the specials, I thought it would be a great opportunity to get insight into the job they do.
Whilst waiting to be accepted as a regular officer, Jamie's supporting himself by working in a supermarket and volunteers over 40 hours a month as a special.
When I'm a special, it actually gives me quite a sense of pride. I'm helping out the local community, I'm helping out my police force.
And Jamie's helping out tonight in Cambridge city centre. It's just past midnight and a call comes over the radio requesting assistance.
We've been called over by a control room. There's a male outside of one of the pubs in town, the Regal, who's been causing trouble to door staff. They're requested over the CCTV cameras that police come. So we're making way along with another unit to go find out what's going on.
Jamie and Eitan arrive at the pub to find a man outside who's been refused entry by door staff.
Hello mate, do you want to come around the corner a minute, chat with me?
In some ways, the effect that the binge drink and the alcohol has on the people I see out on a night out is actually quite surprising. You've got people that, when they're sober, are completely fine, are lucid, are friendly, that suddenly when they've had a bit of alcohol become in your face, aggressive.
All right, what's going on tonight?
Got a verbal altercation with the barrister.
Okay, how much have you had to drink tonight?
I've had enough.
Enough. Right, mate. Because you've had an altercation with the bouncer tonight, I'm issuing you what's called a Section 27 direction to leave.
Jamie issues the man with a Section 27 order, which means he's banned from the area for up to 48 hours.
When I fill the form out, you have to leave town immediately or you're getting arrested. You understand?
Yeah.
Good.
When dealing with members of the public who've had too much to drink, it can actually be quite difficult to get them to calm down and find out what's happened.
No one's willing to stand up for me. No one.
The way that I deal with them is you've got to listen to everything they say. Sometimes it doesn't make sense, but the parts that do, you can really pick up on. Something in my experience as well is never to actually tell them to calm down.
You don't care.
They seem to get a bit more aggressive when you ask them to calm down rather than just keeping calm yourself and listening to what they have to say until you find out what's actually happened.
You had a verbal altercation with door staff.
Verbal altercation. You realise that is a verbal debate. Yes?
Yeah, OK.
But as Jamie's still writing out the ticket, the suspect's mood changes.
Do my life means after this?
Nothing. It means you go home and sleep it up.
Nothing.
This man in particular suddenly changed. He was quite a young guy and he suddenly moved from being angry to suddenly being upset within a split second of me talking to him.
I think I'm going to find a nice little corner so I can die in it.
You take a deep breath, that's it. All right, how are you getting out of town tonight, mate? You walking or you getting a taxi?
I'm on my own.
How do you usually get home?
How do I usually get home?
Yes.
I ride a magical dragon.
Jamie's patience is wearing thin.
Shut up and listen to me. Shut up and listen. You've got two choices. One is you tell me how you're going to get home and you go home. Two, you go in cuffs and you go back to Parkside and spend all night in a custody cell. Which one are you going to choose? It did get frustrating in the end with this male. He clearly understood what the Section 27 was, and then clearly said he wasn't going to follow it. And that, for me, was quite frustrating, because in the end, I just wanted to get him home and let him sleep off the amount of alcohol that he drank that night. Right, are you accepting that if you do not go home now, you're going to get arrested?
I'm not going to go, I'm going to come back.
You're going to get arrested?
I don't care, it could be normal.
Take the form. You taking the form and going home, or I'm putting you in cuffs?
After numerous chances to go home quietly, the man is finally arrested.
That's fine.
Right, you don't have to say anything, but it may harm your defence if you do not mention when questioned something which you later rely on in court. Anything you do say will be given in evidence. Do you understand? Fantastic. You've been arrested because you have refused and you have breached a Section 27 direction to leave. In the end, he blatantly ignored myself with the advice, at which point we had nothing else to do other than take him to custody for breach of the direction to leave. Given you a number of chances to go home, you said no. I think in the end, I was a little bit down for the fact that we ended up having to take him to custody. We'd given him as many chances and a few more, I think.
The man was taken to custody and later received a fixed penalty notice.
No.
It may not have been the result Jamie hoped for, but every situation he faces as a special is valuable experience he hopes to take into a full-time police career.
You deal with all sorts of different jobs, all sorts of situations. Being a police officer is something I want to be, but doing it as a volunteer, as a special, has made me appreciate the job a lot more, and it gives me a sense of pride, a sense of achievement.